Hello, another short video on what I've been up to. I'm having terrible long days at work and a few work trips, so not a lot has been done, but still something. I finished up the first version of all the sprites recently, and now I'm starting to think that the color scheme isn't necessarily what I want. The idea that each building has their own distinct color scheme was a nice idea, but visually it isn't that appealing as I thought it would. I would maybe like some more realistic look into it. I'll try recoloring some of the sprites later to see how it works out. Some of the bigger things I've been up to is I decided to add another housing building into the game, and that required me to write a bit of code again regarding the AI's movement and sleeping and finding home and all that. And to not get the ship too crowded, it's better to have some bigger buildings with more beds basically than just the small ones. I did a lot of smaller bug fixing after I realigned all my graphic layers and lights, and I still encountered some minor stuff that I ended up fixing, like the distribution building and security buildings, circles and some particle effects disappearing, floating icons and stuff like that were missing lighting and were basically behind the ship traffic. I realized that it has been a long time since I last did a stress test for the game and did some profiling, so it was again time to do just that. So I created a save file with about 30 buildings and 200 passengers at first, and the game seems to be running smoothly, but the loading time went up a few seconds, so it's not instantaneous anymore. When I added about 600 passengers, the loading time was still under 10 seconds, which is okayish, but it could still be a bit faster, of course. For the game's stability, the game seems to be running quite well even with this much characters running around and doing their stuff. I still have some things that I have to work around so that when the player speeds up the time flow with this much characters, it would still run smoothly. And at the moment, if I use up to 4 times timescale, it will stutter only basically when the months change. But otherwise it doesn't seem to affect gameplay, at least on my computer. At the moment, a lot of the checks happen at the beginning of the month, so I'll have to split up those functions a bit so that they won't try to happen all on the same frame, and it makes the game running more smoothly then. But for the time being, the game seems to be working as it should, nothing major happening, and the game is starting to feel like fun to play through. I still have to do some tweaking with the numbers and so on to basically get to the end game. I haven't managed to get more than like 70-80 passengers until they all die down basically. The characters do seem to eat too much when their numbers start getting bigger, but you can always get the tech upgrades to get more food from the farms and basically make your passenger population count a bit bigger. Currently I'm in the process of creating a web page for the game and eventually the Steam page, of course. But the web page will take some time. Be on the lookout for that. Thank you for watching and see you next time.